Edgar Allan Poe is known for his horrifying tales and his haunting poetry. And this next weekend, Saturday, I'm going to be going to an Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy. And so this week, I want to spend my free time getting to know Edgar Allan Poe a little more. I mean, I've read The Telltale Heart a couple of times, and The Raven, and a few of his other tales and poems, but I haven't ever dove deep into the anthology I bought so long ago, and now I thought is the perfect time. I bookmarked each tale that they're going to cover at the Speakeasy because they'll be doing a performance of 4 different tales and poems. I believe there will be 3 tales and 1 poem. The first tale is The Pit and the Pendulum. The next one is The Cask of Amontillado, and then it is the poem Annabel Lee, and finally, The Fall of the House of Usher. So, I know for sure that I want to read those 4 before the week is up, but I do want to read more than just that as well. So, I pulled this chunker off my shelf, and I'm ready to dive deep. I have this huge anthology, which of course is the completed works of Edgar Allan Poe, or as completed as it can be. You know, the completed published works. Whoever knows what he threw in the trash. And then there is this tiny little anthology, which will be great for being around as I go about my day. Don't you miss when books could be 2 for 1? So I took the little book to work with me so that during my breaks I could finish up the 3 tales and 1 poem that are going to be in the show. And I just want to give a quick little glimpse into each of them. So the first one I read was The Pit and the Pendulum, and that one was about this guy who woke up in complete darkness in this sort of dungeon. He was put there to basically be tortured, but he escapes the first trap, so whatever is watching, because he feels that there's something there even though he can't see anything, creates other traps that are supposed to put an end to him, basically. So yeah, pretty dark story, figuratively and literally. I do have to say, reading his writing again, it is a very, very specific narration in his writing that I do really enjoy following along with. It is very, very visceral. He focuses in on descriptions. Even though everything was completely dark in this story, I could very clearly see it, and as well feel what the character is feeling, the misery and terror. The next one I read was The Fall of the House of Usher. Oh, actually I read the poem next, which was a completely different vibe, Annabel Lee, because honestly, this was not really a horror. I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say it wasn't Gothic-esque, but I would say it was definitely a love story, or a love poem. If you actually read Edgar Allan Poe, you won't be surprised by this. He writes love poems. But if you've just heard of Edgar Allan Poe, you might be surprised because you think of him as this spinner of terrifying tales, not this person who writes love poems, but he very much does write them. But of course, they still have a bit of a dark spin to them because the poem about Annabel Lee is after Annabel Lee passes away, so it is a dark poem. I mean, it's also with The Raven. The Raven, while being very dark and about this bird that's just watching him. That poem also is a love poem. It's about a love that was lost. Anyway, let's move on to the second tale. I read the third work that will be covered in the show, and that is The Fall of the House of Usher. This book started out with this man, main character, who got a letter from his childhood friend saying basically that he's sick and needs him to come. So he goes to their house, which is very dreary. It has not a great vibe going on around it. He describes it in a much more intense, visceral way in which you can very much see it all, but not only see it, feel the atmosphere of what it is like to be standing before this dreadful house. Then he meets up with his old friend who is completely different. He is gobsmacked by how much he's changed, and why he is not doing great is because his beloved sister just had passed away, and the man sees her ghost, but then kind of is like, okay, but she's also already dead, so how did he see her? They go bring her coffin under the house where they put their loved ones after they pass, and then later on and this is the type of horror that I like. It's very, very chilling. I think the most terrifying things are the things you don't know. Being in that unknown. I think Poe has a way of writing that is just very much using the idea of not knowing to terrify you. The last one is The Cask of Amontillado, which really reminded me of The Telltale Heart in that it was basically a man telling you he was going to put an end to another man and then carrying it out. Just like The Telltale Heart, but just in a different way. But it was terrifying because basically the whole story is him just walking through these catacombs. Why are we always in catacombs in his stories? And skeletons in front of the guy, which is a horrifying thing. I think that was all 4 of them. I have no idea how they're gonna bring these to life in the show. 'Cause I don't even know how you could act them out, really. Like, I could see the Mask of the Red Death being acted out. I could see the Telltale Heart being acted out. But I think especially the Pit and the Pendulum, I really don't know how they're gonna bring that to life because it is just one character. But we'll see. I'm really excited to see. See you in the next clip. Hi. What do you think, Ellie? What do you think of the book? That's probably a good choice. I am walking now to meet my boyfriend and his friends for some food. And I brought the book. I can fit in my back pocket. I'm ready to go. Okay. We're so cute. Cheers.
I'm gonna get dark.
Huh?
I'm gonna get dark.
Or you're gonna get drunk.
Sorts.
Where darkness and beauty intertwine. Cranberry, blackberry liqueur, vodka, and Amontillado sherry.
So two things with vodka.
Do you dare drink the Amontillado?
A lively celebration where masks conceal more than just faces. Welcome everybody to Carnivale. It is a party. Can I hear you give me a poya?
It would be this very pride that be his undoing. It was dusk one evening during the madness of the Carnivale season when I finally encountered him. He was full of merriment, laughter, and glee. Oh, the very markings of an antique within his cups, for he had been drinking much, as many of us have already been doing this afternoon. He was the very image of a jester.
Clink it,
Okay.
and sink it.
Maybe don't.
Alex
Maybe
is
drunk.
drunk.
Yeah,
Alex is drunk.
No.
I don't.
No, I'm not drunk. If I can see myself, then I'm fine, because I can't be dizzy. So I'm looking at myself, and I'm not moving in the camera, which means I can't be moving in real life.
That explanation makes you drunk.
So let us journey now to a kingdom by the sea, where waves whisper tales of love and loss, and the spirit of Annabelle Lee lingers forever immortal in our next haunting verse. Please help me in welcoming our third performer of the afternoon as she brings to life Annabelle Lee.
With a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And that was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, the wind came out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabelle Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me to shut her up in her sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea.
Coffee bean. Clink it and sink it.
No.
Non-dairy coffee beans.
Where are we taking this? Where are we going?
Oh, there's two. There's two straws. I didn't notice.
Are
Okay.
you okay?
I think there's like almond milk in this. Almond or oat milk. This is really good.
When the author himself was no stranger to the creeping fear of madness and the haunting presence of hereditary doom. Poe was so tortured by the loss of so many loved ones in his life and his own fragile mental state that he channeled these fears into a tale where the very walls seem alive with terror and the house itself pulses with the madness of its inhabitants. You are about to witness Gothic horror at its most chilling.
I'm more drunk than I've ever been.